It's a goal!
Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. In this video I will be showing you some cool things I picked up this week. As you can tell, the camera is now on. I'm in my new video room, if you will. This is my collection room. Behind me is loads of rubbish, guys. You can see all like boxes and folders filled up with stuff. And up here you have all my vintage toys. There's Gopher hanging about. There's Wally, Aliens, Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Batman. I will be doing a tour soon, guys, because next to me is also a cabinet filled with vintage and modern football sports cards. Yeah, some really good stuff. So it's my first time on my new desk, so I'm getting used to the new camera angle. Sully from Sully Sports Cards has kind of inspired me to try and get myself a bit back on camera more, actually show my face off. So yeah, hope you don't get too scared. So over the last couple of weeks I've been buying some random stuff. I'm trying to keep my money, keep my purchases kind of tight really, because at the moment stuff's quite expensive. The cost of living is quite expensive, and I'm also really more interested in getting some stuff graded rather than actually go out and keep buying up stuff I just don't need. Endless piles of cards and stickers. Camera cut out. But yeah, I'd rather have some cards graded, and the cost of grading is quite expensive right now. I've got some cards with SGC and I've got a card with PSA, so when they return I'll start doing more videos about those sort of things. But I'm really looking forward to just getting loads of stuff set up to different grading companies. SGC, PSA and MGC are the ones I'm going to be going with for a few things. So anyway, let's go back to what I picked up this week. So the first thing, guys, I picked up, I was actually looking for this chap here, and this is Charlie George of Arsenal. This sticker is really cool because I've been trying to find some Charlie George stuff. He was a bit of a golden boy for Arsenal back in the 70s. He did very well and quite well remembered by Arsenal fans. Arsenal, it seems, and this might sound a bit mean to Arsenal, I love Arsenal, my favourite team, but like during the like 60s and 70s, there wasn't like many like key players that are now still known. A lot of them are still known if you're an Arsenal fan or you were around from that period, but it's not like when I think about Man United, you think about Dennis Law, George Best, Bobby Charlton. They just keep, those were really big popular Man United players in the 60s. But in the 70s, there were, this guy was amazing. And the sticker was like £3 posted. But guys, the class it comes with, Sabio. I don't have any of them in my collection at all. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe a modern card, but I don't have anything vintage. So this is really cool. I think this is from about 1973. If I remember rightly, it comes in like a little envelope. And it's from Cleveland. I think it's at a petrol station or a car or something. And on that sticker there, guys, there is George Best. Incredible. I love George Best. I collect him, I PC him. So that will be staying in my collection. Maybe get graded because it's an odd size. I'm worried that the grading companies will look at it and be like, no, it's too big. We don't want to grade it. We're not bothered. Some companies do that. PSA were really good at doing that. And now I've seen a lot PSA stuff come back and they're not grading oversized stuff. It just depends on the month, I reckon, sometimes. This was a cheap price, guys. This was a Ronaldinho SGC graded 2006 Panini Goal. I was going to take it out. It's got the really cool eBay Void Authenticated Damage sticker, but I'll tell you something, guys, it's relatively easy to pick us off. I did it the other day, actually. So don't always trust those stickers, guys. But yeah, SGC graded, this is like a 9. You can tell why it's a 9. It's nearly a 10. It's just got like a little bit of whitening down in this bottom right corner. It's so small. Obviously a bit of a legend, Ronaldinho. Really, really cool. Yeah, fantastic player. Fun. One of those players that are actually fun to watch. There's lots of players that, score loads of goals. There's loads of players that, are defensively great. But some players are just really fun to watch, aren't they? And Ronaldinho was definitely fun to watch. He was like just a master. This is a 9. I find this set really hard to find 10s in because they always scratch and dent. This is, it's Panini Gold, so it's a cheap card set. But at the same time, this is quite a good card set. You can get Ronaldo and Messi in these, and those are really good cards. I've got the Ronaldo graded. I've got a few Messis I might send up. And there's like Thierry Henry, Zidane, I think Beckham maybe in this set as well. Then you got all the England players as well, if that's your thing. Yeah, really, really cool to get. And it's just like 14 quid, guys. It's just so cheap. People will go to PSA because they like PSA makes them profit, which is great. I understand that. And it's true. PSA are the best of profit. But as a collector, I want the cheapest I can get for a grade I like. I mean, if this was a 10, I happily would have got 60, 70 quid on it. But it's not, it's a 9. So 14 quid posted, or 15 quid posted, whatever it was, that is a cheap card to get. And it's one that's going to stay in my collection, and I'll start grading a few more in this set. I'll probably start building this set up, which is going to be, it's going to be quite fun actually. I like that. I like that a lot. Right. I also, guys, you know I collect women's cards. I probably go on about it a lot. But this is the last card I needed out of the 99 sets. And this is the Steph Houghton out of 99. It's number 30, Panini Best of England set. So I now have all the 199s. All the 99s. I'm missing 175, which is the Leah Williamson one. I tried to get hold of it in the past. I've had it a few times where I've bid on it and people have outbid me, or they cancel the bid, or they put the price up to like £100 for the card, which is not worth it, and they lower the price, and suddenly it gets like £40, £50, which is what I'm willing to pay, and it goes. So I need to be good on that. As soon as I get that card, I'll be done. So I also have all the 49s out of 49s now. So yeah, this is the last card I needed. My plan with this set was always to I wasn't going to collect the 10s, I wasn't going to collect the out of 1-on-1s because that's a nightmare. But actually, the out of 1-on-1s are actually like out of 4 because they basically just made loads of them, which is kind of bad on Panini. So I'm actually still looking for some of the 10s, and I'm still looking for some of the 1-on-1s. I'm not going to pay a ridiculous amount of money for them because they're not true 1-on-1s. But if you guys got a card 1-on-1 in your collection, or a out of 10 you're willing to sell, I will be interested in listening to how much you want for it, and I might be able to make you an offer, or I might be able to just give you the full price you're asking for. I'm very close to getting this set complete. Some of these cards will be up to grading. I might not do every single card because that's like a right pain. There's 14 players in this set, and there is 199, 99, 75, 49. So 4 lots of cards per player. So that's 40 plus cards for 50. It's going to be like a mental number of cards, so I'm not going to bother to spend everything up. I might just do out all the 49s as they allow complete. Guys, now we're going to switch up the actual sport. So we're not soccer anymore, not football anymore. The first cards I started to collect when I actually got into the hobby was baseball cards, and especially vintage stuff. Because I'm always attracted to vintage. Always have been. When I started collecting, the first thing I did was just type in baseball cards, and the first cards I ever bought were a Babe Ruth and a Willie Mays card, and love those cards. They're still in my collection. They were graded with PSA because I was only buying PSA cards. I wasn't buying raw, and then I started buying raw, and then I kept thinking there must be raw baseball on eBay, and there's lots of raw baseball in UK, sell on UK eBay, but it's hard to find vintage, like very, very hard. And so when this set came up, I have been looking for, I showed up the player last actually. I've been looking for this card for ages, and I was willing to pay over like £50 for it from America. I think a PSA 3 or something was like £50, £60 maybe. And it goes up, the more it goes, obviously how it goes up, the more money it is. So I was willing to pay it, but then I thought, no, I'm going to wait, because the import tax is so much. £30, £40 for a card, it's not worth it when the card's less than that, and you're paying £25 postage. I mean, you've got these ship to places you can go to, but when you just want to buy one card, it's just annoying, really. Anyway, this, guys, I believe it's 1972 or 73, somebody will correct me. 4 cards, 4 amazing players. Willie Mays, I started to collect Willie Mays stuff. I have a Willie Mays, spoilers here, card with PSA. I submitted it with Josh from the European Vintage Soccer Discord. I'm looking forward to get that back. I will be sending these up as well to PSA in the future as well. But there's one card at the back I really wanted. So Willie Mays, the guy who I cannot pronounce, Carl Yastrzemski. Baseball player fans are probably looking at me going, you're an idiot. But yeah, I cannot pronounce his name at all. Yeah, very cool backs and everything. Very kind of nostalgic. 1971, 72, I think this is from. And then we have a Hank Aaron, a very never cool player all these guys, all these cards here, their rookie cards are worth thousands, if not tens of thousands. If PSA 10s come up, they're probably pushing $250,000, $500,000, I imagine. And then finally, the one card I really wanted was this Roberto Clemente. I have maybe 2 or 3 cards of this in my collection. I've got 3 graded with PSA from the 60s and 50s, and this will actually be my first 70s one actually. So to get a 4th card in my collection is amazing. I will be doing a little video about it soon, about my collection of vintage baseball, and I'm hoping to send this off to get grading in the next round of grading. It's not the best card in the world, guys, in terms of quality. I mean, as you can tell, it's off center. The corner is a bit weak, but maybe if I give it a quick little wipe over, it does look clean though. That's the thing. It looks very clean. Great player. Read up about him, guys. He was a very charitable guy. He sadly passed away, I think maybe a year later or two, when he was plane where he was delivering aid to some place crashed into the sea. And there's a really fun, like, wonderful story about a sad story about when he was basically, I think maybe like Hall of Fame or like a what's it called, like a not a funeral, maybe a funeral actually, something like a funeral, something for him, like a memorial type thing. One of his teammates didn't bother to turn up, and the reason why was because his mate went out to where the wreckage was, and he was diving down to try and see if he can recover his body. His body was never recovered, unfortunately. But yeah, this is one of those cool players, cool guy. Sadly, life cut too short. But yeah, his cards were used to be relatively cheap, like not super cheap, but like you could afford to save up and buy one and add one to your collection. And then he started going up in price, and with income tax added on to like eBay transactions now, I'm struggling to find vintage baseball for sale, especially players that are well known. I can get a few cards and stuff. But yeah, lovely cool cards. These 4 cards were like £20 postage, which I think is a great price. And now, guys, something different for the channel. I am like a mad collector, as you can tell. I've got toys above me. I've got vintage cards. I've got vintage everything really, vinyl records, comics, and I've been buying comics basically. And I always try and get comics which are you want to like look at, same as like cards, you want to look at keys. Keys are basically comics where somebody good happens, or a character that everybody loves. It could be the first appearance of that character, last appearance of that character, death of that character, or major storyline. Generally speaking, keys are the ones that are worth the most money, but they're super hard to find. I haven't found any, unfortunately, but these 3 comic books I found in the shop not far from me. This is about 10 minutes away from my house, and this cost me £20. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Any comic book collector seller probably tell me, but yeah, this is Marvel's Journey into Mystery. It's basically a horror comic. This guy had a ton, I mean like hundreds of horror comics, and horror comics I find very cool covers, very cool one-off stories. So if you just want to collect 1 or 2, you can. Unlike if you want to collect Spider-Man, say for example, it's like, oh, you got to collect the whole storyline sort of thing. But these are really cool. Journey to Mystery is actually the comic book I believe for the God of Thunder first appeared in. So when I bought this, I was thinking I got a bit of a winner here, because that means it's number 9th issue in the collection. I think 4 appears in like 27 or something like that. But so this must be an earlier one, but it's not. Basically what this is they did it twice. They made the whole series, they stopped. 4 went and had his own adventures, and then they brought it back in the early 70s, I think. And this is what this is. So unfortunately, this is a really cool comic, really cool graphics and artwork, but it's not really worth as much as I thought it was. Unlike this one, which I think is really cool, this is Tomb of Dracula. So they are making Blade, the movie. It's in a bit of production hell right now, but Blade is a character that first appeared in the Tomb of Dracula. His appearance goes for a hell of a lot of money. As you can imagine, the first appearance of a major character, like, well, not major, he's more of a beast-like character really, but a big character that everybody knows, will go for a lot of money. This run used to be quite expensive as well, because it was very rarely collected, so they didn't do many like collected volumes that you could, like reprints that you could read. So people were really wanting this set. But I really love this cover, and this is quite an iconic one. It says the vampire has risen from the grave, and it just looks so cool. You can actually get comics graded. Grading comics is just the same as grading cards. There's major companies out there that do it. PSA have just started doing it, which is crazy in my opinion. It's a big market to kind of take on. CGC is a major player in the grading comics world, and there's a CBC as well, CBS or something is another one. But PSA are going for it, and that's really impressive to them. If they make a mistake, it will be bad for PSA, because there are fake comics. There are comics that have been edited, as in physically restored and cleaned up to the point where it's more restoration than it is actually just cleaning. So yeah, it's going to be fun seeing PSA do comics for the first time. One thing about comics is it can be quite expensive. I think roughly from the UK to send a vintage comic like this, it's like £60. So you can imagine the postage and costs and everything else involved. You're looking at the north of maybe £100 to get it back. If it's £10 to post it, and then £10 to get it back insured as well. It just keeps going up higher and higher, doesn't it? So yeah, you've got to be very careful. More people grade cards because it's so much cheaper than they do comics. But I think if comic prices dropped a little bit and timescales, people will be sending more up. Anyway, the last comic I did buy is Daredevil 108. The Beetle Strikes by Night. Foggy Nelson's looks like he's on his deathbed, and it has an early appearance of the Black Widow. Yeah, love it. I just like the quality of the comics. I mean, the comic art is beautiful. Yeah, I just find comics to be very, very, very cool, amazing things, and like the Dracula one's amazing. I really do like these. Yeah, I love collecting. I've always had loved collecting, guys. I don't know what to do with them. I do have like thousands of comics, mainly kind of modern stuff from like 2012, 2013 and 14. I collected for like 3 years solidly, all mainly Marvel and DC stuff. But I've been collecting like old comics when I was a kid, so stuff like Captain America and occasionally Amazing Spider-Man. But Spider-Man is so hard to find. You don't really see these types of comics in the UK. They're very rare to actually find them in the UK like this. You usually find the slightly bigger ones, which are like monthly ones or weekly ones, which are for the UK market, and then you find modern stuff, which is usually just Panini. You do find modern stuff a bit more, but anything pre-1990, I struggle to find. You do find them occasionally, I suppose, in more like collectible shops where people have actually bought these collections, but you don't find them much in charity shops or car boot sales. It's very, very rare. If you do find anything Amazing Spider-Man pre-1990, and the comic book is in relatively good condition, it's like a couple quid or something, buy it, because they go for a minimum of like £6 to £7 for Amazing Spider-Man pre-1990. It's really weird. They're just so popular. People love them so much. These guys, as you can tell, have the it says 6p. You know, I'm not old enough to really remember these pre-decimal sort of things. Or maybe that is just normal decimal. But anyway, 6p was relatively cheap back in the day, I suppose. But these are the British equivalents, so they don't hold big value as they do the American version with the dollar and cents as the currency. So guys, yeah, new camera. Hello, me here. And obviously got the drop down camera working now. I'm happy with this kind of setup. I'm literally just got it set up about an hour and a half ago. So yeah, excited to share this video. I will be thinking about buying a new microphone. So if anybody has any preferences, what they reckon the best microphone is, please give me a shout, leave a comment. I have cards with the Willie Mays card with PSA, which I imagine will be back in about 3 or 4 weeks time. And I will also have a SGC return, which is estimated to be returned tomorrow, or as of next week, basically. So, but hopefully by the end of the week that will turn up. I think it's 4 cards, and I will give you the rundown of who I graded with, also graded, and my opinion of those cards. So, guys, leave a like and a comment. Please subscribe, and most of all, guys, stay safe and happy hunting.